Hello aspirants, welcome back to my channel Edutainment with PP, and here today we are going to study the cash flow statement. So let's get started with the cash flow statement, and here is the notes, and you can get these notes from the description of the channel, and do like, subscribe and share the video to your friends as well. And let's get started. Let us first understand the basic meaning of cash flow statement. And one of the important thing is that while studying cash flow statement, you have to go through the AS3, which is based on AS3, which is based on cash flow statement. There in that AS3, you will get to know what do we mean by cash flow statement, and also the elements of cash flow statement, what cash includes in the cash flow statement. Here in the cash flow statement, only the cash, the meaning of cash is not restricted to the cash that we use. It is also there is a broad meaning of the cash here. So in AS3 it has been covered. I will also cover the meaning of cash in this video, and in that the what is cash flow statement, what are the activities in the cash flow statement, all is covered in the AS3. So you have to go through AS3 as well. But now we are going to start the cash flow statement, and first let us understand what do you mean by cash flow statement. The simple meaning, as the name suggests, cash, the meaning of cash we will understand further in this video. Cash, simply cash, or other things which includes in the cash. The second thing is flow. What do we mean by flow? Is that inflow and outflow. Inflow and outflow of the cash and the statement. In simple words, we can say that the cash flow statement is the statement, summary statement of the inflow and outflow of the cash in a business, right? And other thing is that other thing you should understand that cash flow statement is applicable to those companies which are covered under Companies Act 2013, right? If you are BCom student, then this question can come into your MCQ exam, that the cash flow statement are applicable to companies which are covered under Companies Act 2013, right? If you see that sole propriety business, sole proprietary business, or a partnership business where they prepare the cash account to see the cash transactions, that is cash receipts and cash payments. But here in the cash flow statement, your for the companies, the total accounting is different. Here the financial statement is prepared according to the schedule 3 schedule 3, and in that cash flow statement is one of the statement annexure to the financial statement, right? So the cash flow statement is applicable to the only the companies which are covered under Companies Act 2013. So the basic meaning of the cash flow statement is: the cash flow statement is a summary of cash receipts and cash payments. Simple summary is that the cash flow statement is a summary statement of cash receipts and cash payments. For example, let us take an example. In what is the requirement of cash flow statement? In last, that is at the end of the year, I want to know what is my cash and cash equivalent, right? Cash, what is my cash remaining at the end of the year. So for that, for example, this is 2016 and this is 2017, and here the transaction begins. Here the cash is 10,000 rupees. I have to know the balance of this part, closing balance. I have to know the closing balance. So during the transaction, that at a time there is a cash receipt, at a time there is a cash payment. So all this by doing addition, subtraction, we come to the closing balance of the cash. So for this, the Companies Act given us a cash flow statement. Through that, we can find the cash and cash equivalents, right? Then the next disclaimer is that, disclaimer, not a disclaimer, but a simple thing is that only cash transactions. As you can see, we are studying cash flow statement. Cash flow statement means only cash transactions. Here the credit transactions such as credit sale. Simple thing is that when we do the credit sale, cash is not coming into our business or going out of the business, so this will not be included in our cash flow statement. Then the next thing is that credit purchase or any credit transactions which we do in our business will not come under the cash flow statement. But when we receive money from our debtors, this becomes our debtors, and we receive the cash from our debtors, that will be included in our included in our cash flow statement. Or when we do payments to the creditors, that will also be included in our cash flow statement, right? Very simple, because there is a inflow and outflow of cash here. There is an inflow in cash and there is a outflow here. When we pay to the creditors, there is a outflow of cash. You can understand the simple meaning of cash flow statement is the statement, simple statement wherein there are inflows and outflows of the cash flows, right? Hope you understood the meaning of the cash flow statement. Now let us understand the elements of cash. In the layman language, we can understand the cash as only the cash which we see, that is a physical notes of cash, 10 rupees ka 20 rupees ka notes. That is the physical cash. Yes, that is also included in includes the cash, that is cash in hand, or you can say cash at bank as well. But the other things here, the cash is cash and cash which is in the bank, right? Demand deposits and with the bank, and comes the cash and cash equivalent. Equivalent means that what do you mean by equivalent is that here the equivalent means the things, for example, if you say marketable securities or short term which can be immediately converted into the cash. What do you mean by equivalent? Cash equivalent is the securities or any investment, short term investments which can be converted immediately into the cash, right? If you one of the best example would be marketable securities, wherein you can sell off the securities and you can get immediately cash. These are short term securities, banks deposit marketable securities. These are the securities which we can convert it into cash easily, so these are also included into the cash, right? What do you include in the cash as per AS3? AS3 is based on cash flow statement, wherein you will get the activities of cash flow statement and the format of cash flow statement. The cash, it also defines the cash. What do we include in the cash? Cash means the cash in hand. Cash in hand, first thing, अपने हाथ में जो कैश है वो, देन उसके बाद बैंक में जो है वो, देन कैश एंड कैश इक्विवेलेंट. इक्विवेलेंट यानी जो सिक्योरिटीज इमीडिएटली कैश में कन्वर्ट हो सकता है. Anything which can be converted into cash immediately or easily, that is included in the cash and cash equivalent, which is marketable securities, short term investment, bank deposits, that all are included in the cash. So hope you understand the cash, meaning of cash. The simple, let us revise the whole thing once. What do you mean by cash flow statement? Cash flow statement is nothing but the summary statement of all the cash outflows and inflows. Then what is included in the cash? Cash includes cash in hand, demand deposits. Then comes the marketable securities which can be converted easily into the cash, right? This is what the cash includes. Then we have understood this all things, but the cash is used in a diversified manner. That is, you use for day-to-day activities as well. You use for it, cash is used for many things, as a student or anything. As a businessman, you use cash in different ways. You use for day-to-day activities. And here I will not include cash. I will include cash and cash equivalent. This would be the ideal word we will use in the cash flow statement, because it only not covers the cash, it also covers the marketable securities and all, right? Day to day activities, cash is used in the day to day activities, right? छोटा मोटा काम हो या कुछ खर्चा हो, then we use day to day activities का cash. Then next we use to purchase an asset. right? Then we use it for our repayment of loans, our loans. Then और किसी चीज के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं कैश एंड कैश इक्विवेलेंट. एंड वेयर दिस कैश कम्स, दिस कम्स फ्रॉम, it can be from loans, right? It can be from loans, it can be from sales of a business, then it can be by issuing our equity to the shareholders, because the cash flow statement is applicable to the company. There if it is a listed company, they issue shares to the stakeholders या shareholders को जब issue करके जो भी amount मिलेगा, then share capital, we can say that share capital. These all are the modes for cash inflow, and these are the modes for cash outflow, right? Now if we see here, we include this cash and cash equivalent in a diversified manner, that is we use for day-to-day activities, we use for purchase and assets, we use for repayment of loan. Here, by seeing the nature of the payments, nature of the payments and nature of the receipts, the cash flow statement, that is AS3, has given us a format or the activities which which the cash flow statement covers. So let us go into the activities, cash flow activities. Here is the classification of cash flow activities, right? The first thing, operating. सिंपल मतलब इसका क्या होगा? सिंपल मीनिंग ऑफ दिस इज द रेवेन्यू जनरेटिंग, प्रिंसिपल रेवेन्यू जनरेटिंग एक्टिविटी. I said here the day-to-day activities. Here it is, yeah. Day-to-day activities. Day-to-day activities are covered under the operating activities. Operating activities, which is principal generating. Whenever you are going through operating activities, simply just recall your trading account, right? Trading account याद आ गया, यानी here there are purchases, then yeah, here it is sales, then comes closing stock, then here there are purchase return, purchase sales return, all things जो नॉर्मल थिंग है, रॉयल्टी फीस पेमेंट वगैरह. ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट को याद करना, wherein the principal generating is through the sales of your business, right? Through the sales of your business and the other revenue which your business would be into, right? तो ऑपरेटिंग यानी सिंपल द प्रिंसिपल रेवेन्यू जनरेटिंग, डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज जो है वो ऑपरेटिंग में आ जाता है. फॉर एग्जांपल आई वुड से पेमेंट टू डेटर्स, सॉरी पेमेंट टू क्रेडिटर्स. अभी पेमेंट टू क्रेडिटर्स कहाँ इंक्लूड करेंगे? ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटीज. क्यों? बिकॉज परचेजेस आर डन एवरी डे. देन परचेजेस के हिसाब से इफ वी डू द क्रेडिट परचेज दैट आर नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन द कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट, बट द पेमेंट टू द क्रेडिट परचेजेस वी इंक्लूड इन द कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट, एंड द परचेजेस गो डे टू डे, डे टू डे परचेजेस होते हैं, तो वो परचेजेस अपन किस में इंक्लूड करेंगे? ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटी. वो जो पेमेंट करते हैं वो ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटी. देन पेमेंट रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम डेटर्स, डेटर्स से जो भी पैसा मिलेगा, सेम डे टू डे सेल, सेल कर रहे हैं, प्रिंसिपल रेवेन्यू जनरेटिंग, सेल सेल ही अपना प्रिंसिपल रेवेन्यू जनरेटिंग एक्टिविटी होता है. तो फ्रॉम दैट वी गेट द रेवेन्यू, राइट? That revenue will be included in the operating activities, right? Then next comes, here are a couple of examples are there. For example, cash receipts from the sale, then cash receipts from the sale, then cash payments to creditors, then royalty fees, commission and other revenue which comes under the operating activity, right? Then comes the investing activities. These are the three activities, that is operating, investing and financing. Investing, the ideal meaning of the investing is that you invest in some asset, you invest in particular asset, or you can sell asset, you can sell off the asset, or you can invest in some FD or something, right? The ideal meaning is that you purchase a asset, or you whenever you make the payment for any purchase of an asset, right? That comes under the investing activities. For example, you purchase the furniture, और रोज रोज फर्नीचर परचेज नहीं करते. फर्नीचर इज वन टाइम इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड वो सालों सालों चलता रहता है. तो दैट वी विल इंक्लूड इन द इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटी, वेर इन वो फ्यूचर फिक्स्ड एसेट एसेट में इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है, तो इन्वेस्टिंग के अंडर आएगा. एंड इन केस whenever you invest, मैं मतलब परचेज किया, यानी कैश आउटफ्लो, एंड whenever you sell, दैट इज कैश इनफ्लो. फर्नीचर को सेल कर दिया तो इनफ्लो. तो ये जो इनफ्लो है वो भी अपन इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटी में इंक्लूड करेंगे, राइट? तो सिंपली acquisition and disposal of long-term assets and other investments. Investing yani normal in the layman sense is that investing into a FDs or investing into the fixed assets or anything. For example, you have invested in a building, purchasing a building, then it will come under the investing activity. That is outflow of cash. And whenever you sell, that is sale of that building, then that is the inflow of cash, right? So here are the couple of examples. Cash payments to acquire a fixed assets, sale of fixed assets, investment in long-term assets, which will be including it in the investment activities, right? Then comes the financing activity. अब जो है ना, इन्वेस्ट करने जो पैसा है for investing into the fixed assets, then for doing anything other thing, for doing the day-to-day activities, for doing day-to-day purchases, कहाँ से पैसा मिलेगा? पैसा मिलेगा अपने को फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटी से. यानी वन थिंग जो है, या तो इक्विटी से, बाय इशूइंग इक्विटी, राइट? इक्विटी इशू किया एंड अमाउंट मिल गया, दैट इज द फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटी. बाय टेकिंग लोन्स, राइट? फिर उसके बाद बाय बोरोइंग्स, बोरोइंग्स और लोन्स एक ही हुआ. दिस आर ऑल द फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटी, right? These are covered under the financing activity. Anything, if we borrow money or we take loan from a company, loan from the bank, that will be included in the financing activity. कोई भी काम जो बिजनेस में पैसे लाने कर रहा है, राइट? बिजनेस में पैसे लाने कर रहे हैं या कंपनी में पैसे लाने कर रहे हैं, वो होगा फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटी. Here are the examples of this. Cash proceeds from issuing of shares or equity instruments, payment to the owner for acquiring the redeemed equity shares, repayment of loans borrowed. देन ये जो तीनों चीजें है, इसमें कैश इनफ्लो भी होगा एंड कैश आउटफ्लो भी होगा. इनफ्लो यानी इन केस फर्स्ट एक्टिविटी में देखा जाए, द डेटर्स थिंग, if the debtors give us the payment, that is inflow of the cash. And if the creditors, if we make the payment to the creditors, that is the outflow of the cash. Then second, if we acquire any land or invest in any asset, that is outflow of the cash, right? And if we sale of the land or sell the land or and get the money from the sale of that land, that will be included in the that is the inflow of the cash. Then financing, if we borrow loans from the banks or issue equity, that is the inflow of the cash. And if we repay the loans or borrowings, then that is the outflow of the cash. And the cash flow statement is all about the cash flow statement is all about the cash inflow, यानी बिजनेस के अंदर कैश आ रहा है, एंड द कैश आउटफ्लो, दैट इज बिजनेस के बाहर कैश जा रहा है, राइट? ये एक बेसिक सा आइडिया है कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट में, wherein what is cash flow statement, then the meaning of cash flow statement, then cash, what is cash में क्या क्या include होगा, and the activities of cash flow statement. Let us revise that. Meaning, the simply is the summary of the cash receipts and payments. Only cash transaction will be included in the cash flow statement. Then the purpose, we actually forgot to discuss the purpose. Purpose is to know the liquidity of the company. The purpose is to know the liquidity in the company, how much liquid the company is. Then the elements of cash is the simple cash in hand, cash at bank. Then it also includes the marketable securities, short term investment and bank deposits. Then comes the activities. There are three activities. The first one is the operating activities, then comes the investing, then comes the financing. Operating is our principal revenue generating activity, that is which we do day to day activity. Investing is a long term activity wherein we invest into a long term assets, and the financing activity is the activity wherein we borrow funds to run our business, right? In the next lecture we will see the direct method and indirect method of the cash flow statement. So if you have understood this, do subscribe the channel, like the video, and share this video with your friends as well. Thank you very much.